Hey everybody, it's Michelle with Florida Keys Birding, and today I want to share my trip to Big Cypress National Park. So I've got some pictures and videos here and some wildlife that I found. So I'm going to share these things with you today. I'm going to let you know what wildlife I did find. I did go in search of woodpeckers. I did go in search of pileated woodpeckers. I know it's like you want to call them like pleated woodpeckers sometimes. I don't know why. Yeah, pileated. I was in search of red cockaded, maybe red-headed. I was hoping to find some of these. I've seen downy. I wanted to find hairy woodpeckers. So yeah. So I guess you're gonna find out what I did find and what I didn't find. There were some unexpected finds for sure on this trip, but it was a good trip. We only got to go to 2 or 3 different trails, different areas. There's so much to see at Big Cypress. You can't do it all in one day. I mean, it's just there's tons of stuff unless you get up really early, and I don't generally do that. So it took me about hour and a half, 2 hours to kind of get where we wanted to be from my house. So this is just kind of the first stop right here. I thought it was funny, some of these signs here. You see it says the alligators are real, keep away. It's like, who thinks that they're not? But I thought that was kind of silly. And then of course it has a sign that says do not feed the alligators. For me, these are just kind of a given. We should already know not to do these things. And then, oh look, venomous snakes sighted in this area. So yeah, it's dangerous. So there was another sign that said don't molest the alligators. I don't know. I don't know why or who would be doing that. So but yeah, it was interesting. So these are just some of the cypress trees. You can hear the cars in the background and stuff like that. Some planes flying overhead. But oh, this is the first sighting I saw. I did see a swallowtail kite fly over, so that was pretty cool. They were just coming back into Florida and Central Florida and South Florida. So this is some of the signs at the Nature Center, the first Oasis boardwalk at the Visitor Center. So some of the stuff here. There was a bunch of things with like alligator wrestling. I did not know this was a thing, but there's lots of that information inside the Visitor Center. So this is a great blue heron. I don't know why I wanted to say gray heron, but this is a great blue heron here. It was quite beautiful, and then there is a double-crested cormorant in the water next to the great blue heron. So he was just kind of hanging out and looking for food there. And here's one of those Florida garfish. The water was super clear; you could see right through it. So lots of fish just hanging out right there. And let's see, there's one of the big alligator signs. Okay, double-crested cormorant here. Yep, there's one. He's about to dive down. I got a video of him diving down. It was really pretty. Do some acrobatics in the water. aqua acrobatics, whatever you want to call it. They dive down and they grab fish and stuff. So this was actually pretty interesting. I didn't even know I had a killdeer in this picture. I thought it was just starlings. So that was cool. I saw that kind of in post-processing. So, and here is a palm warbler. He had his mouth open because it was really hot that day. So here's a nice palm warbler. They're getting into breeding season now. So they're getting a little bit more bright yellows. Some of them have a little bit of red on top of their head. So this was at the Visitor Center, and then the next site here is at Monument Lake. So I was told to go here to look for woodpeckers that according to eBird, all of them were sighted here. So this is kind of like a video of kind of what it looks like at Monument Lake. I was a little bit surprised because there wasn't a ton of trees or forest until you get to the back of this little area. Now this was exciting. This is a purple martin house. I didn't know that they had purple martin houses here at this place, and that was pretty cool because I've never really seen purple martins like that before. So I was really excited to see these purple martins. So here's one flying over the lake. They were catching bugs and they were foraging for bugs inside of the grass and stuff like that. But they were really, really cool to watch. They were doing some nesting inside these little houses and stuff. They were just kind of going back and forth, back and forth. As I was recording, some would just, come out of the house and leave, and then some of them were just kind of hanging out on top, preening like this one. So they were really cool to watch. They were like an iridescent black purplish color, and then some of them were hanging out of the houses. I don't know if there were babies inside or what was going on, but some of them looked like maybe there were babies inside. I'm not 100% sure though. It was kind of hard to see some of them. So this was really cool, really exciting to see these purple martins. So I decided to leave the Purple Martin house and move on to the next area. There was a lot of these cormorants, a lot of these double-crested cormorants and anhingas hanging out in these trees here. I decided to kind of go to this forest patch in the back, and I was looking for woodpeckers. Initially, it was hard for me to find what I was looking for because there was a lot of campers, so I couldn't get back to the forest. But somebody in our WhatsApp bird chat told me where I needed to go, so we did make a second round to come and look for birds. But in the areas that I could see, I was able to find, here's one of those common ground doves. I did see a few things, not as much as I thought I would. And here's a great crested flycatcher back here. I did see one of those. I heard them calling back and forth. I think there was like 2 or 3 of them calling. So that was pretty cool. I do see those down by my area. I saw common yellowthroat. Actually, there was 2 common yellowthroats. I only got a picture of one of them. This one looked like it was in the middle of a molt, so it looks like it was molting. It was on its way, while it's on its way back north. So there was one that was fully molted already with the full black mask. So this one was kind of in its in-between stage, so it was looking a little bit rough. So yeah, saw a few common yellowthroats as I was kind of looking in the forest. It's kind of like a swampy area back there. There's a little bit of dryness, but it was like bald cypress swamp. So that's kind of what was back there. And some nice dragonflies, of course. You're going to always see a bunch of those. And let's see what's next. Oh yeah, this is more of the great crested flycatchers that I saw in the cypress area. Like I said, there was like 2 or 3 of them here. So let's see after this. Oh, another dragonfly. There's a lot of these cool looking dragonflies around, all different colors. I really like dragonflies. I like to photograph them. It almost looks like you can see like it has a little face here. Okay, so I went along to another area, and there were some warblers here in these trees. There were some palm warblers. I initially thought that there was maybe a nuthatch back there, but it turned out to be a black and white warbler. So, when I was able to zoom in and kind of see what I was looking at, I figured out that it was a black and white warbler. So there's a couple of warblers. It's still early in the season and spring migration, so I didn't expect to see a ton, but there was a few. A nice white peacock butterfly here. There was lots of really nice butterflies in this area. I did see like a swallowtail. I've got a picture of a little bit later. And this is like one of those things where you tell people you're from Florida, and there's that meme where you see a picture of like the beach, and then they're like, no, I'm from Florida, and like you see this. This is like what most of Florida looks like. So this is what I was thinking when I was looking at this. It was kind of funny, but yeah, it's this fieldy looking stuff with some foresty stuff. It was kind of blocked off, so you can't really walk back there, and it was kind of swampy. So I wouldn't suggest going back there. There's a lot of gators in this area. So yeah, you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of water, swampy area. So, okay, this is the next spot. We went to Kirby Sorter Roadside Park. This was a really cool place. So this is just kind of in the parking lot, walking in and all of that at Kirby Sorter. Of course, when you walk in, there's a little boardwalk. I think it's about a mile a mile long completely. Yeah, this is a sign, kind of tells you where you are, tells you what you're gonna see. Scenic boardwalk. It was a really nice boardwalk. Here's a juvenile white ibis. I thought it was a limpkin. I almost got excited, but it wasn't. It was just an ibis. So when I first walked in, I was kind of disappointed because I didn't see a whole lot. I see just, like some grackles and some ibis and stuff. And I was like, geez, I haven't even seen a gator yet at this point. I was like, are we really even going to see anything? But this is the part of the trail that was not shaded. This part of the trail was kind of like in the straight sun, but as you walk farther back, you're going to see that there's a big swampy cypress shaded area. That's when I really started to find some wildlife. I got panthers. I was like, ooh, maybe we'll see a panther, but then my husband was like, what will you really do if you see a panther? I would run. He says, they say you're not supposed to run, and I was like, oh, I guess I would have been in trouble then. But no, we didn't see any panthers. That would be like crazy but scary at the same time. So I'm kind of glad I didn't see one because I'm pretty sure it could climb up over the boardwalk if it wanted to. Okay, so here's a blue-gray gnatcatcher. This is when we kind of got to the shady area of the boardwalk, and we started to see some warblers, some gnatcatchers. There was some yellow rump warblers up in there. This is the time of year for yellow rumps. They should be moving on soon, but they're still up there. Palm warblers, all that good stuff. So this is the shady, swampy area of the boardwalk, as you can see. And let me see, I don't know if you can hear it, but there was like these loud frogs. Hold on, let me see if you can hear it. I think maybe it wasn't in this video, but there were these loud frogs. We thought it was gators, but it was actually frogs. So I do have a picture coming up of these frogs. Oh, listen.
What is that? There's like 3 of them. Whatever they are.
You can kind of hear there's northern parulas calling and different warblers calling as well. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can see some warblers up here hanging out in these cypress and pine and stuff like that. So yeah, there was a bunch of these. This area really started to see some activity, which was really cool. And like I said, I heard a ton of warblers doing like spring vocalization and stuff like that. So that was really, really neat. Yeah, I honestly could have stayed back in this little area like for a long time just watching. Oh, listen. What is that? Yeah, you can really... Oh, you hear that? Yeah, so here is some warblers here. I think this is a northern parula. Yeah, this northern parula was feeding in the moss and all these leaves and stuff like that. So she was going from... Okay, here we go. Here's the frog. Yeah, so there was a bunch of these frogs and they were being really loud. I don't know if you could hear it on the video, but yeah, they were being super loud, these frogs. There was a bunch of these, so these were kind of cool.
No.
Okay. Yeah, there
No.
we go. You can see some of the frogs here. Okay, yeah, so this is the northern parula that I had found that I was following. Really pretty. There was a few of these in the trees there, and they were calling really loud. So yeah, some nice northern parulas here. And coming up, I went a little bit farther down the boardwalk because there was a bunch of warblers just flying around this little area here. Okay, yeah. You heard that? What was the call?
Are you saying I'm the princess and you're the frog?
Oh, that was me and my husband. Oh, you can really hear the calls now.
Okay.
Yeah. Just bantering back and forth. So, yep, here's some more northern parulas. Yeah, there was quite a few of these hanging out in this area, so So far at this point, yeah, and I'm still looking for woodpeckers. I'm hoping I'm seeing, a pileated or, something, and I'm not finding any woodpeckers. The whole purpose of me going down here was to find woodpeckers. I'm thinking to myself, for sure, I'm gonna find some back here. Like I'm in the middle of this forest on a boardwalk. This has got to be it. But yeah, so far just a couple of warblers, common warblers that I see. Lots of northern Perulos back there, black and white warblers, palm warblers, yellow rump warblers, stuff I kind of been seeing anyway. So some more ibis back here. But again, like I said, we're still really early in spring migration, so I wasn't sure. That's why I kind of went looking for woodpeckers, because I was like, these woodpeckers are going to be here no matter what. So this is the end of the trail, this of the boardwalk here. And it was really beautiful at the end here with the water and the trees and stuff like that. Apparently my husband was trying to show me a turtle. I couldn't find it.
On the log all the way
yeah. He looked like a rock or something. But yeah, it was really pretty. Really nice trail. I definitely want to come back a little bit like farther into spring migration. There we go. There's a turtle. I thought it was a rock. So yeah, this is the end of the trail here. Yeah, I definitely want to come back. I want to go to some other spots. I want to do the loop road. I want to post a video when I go to do the loop road and the trails there, because we didn't get a chance to do that. It was just so much, it's such a big area, and like I said, we're not super close. We ended up hitting a lot of stupid St. Patrick's Day traffic. Oh, here's a nice anhinga. Looks like a male here. But yeah, so, we got here a little bit later in the day. Look at those pretty air plants underneath. I love the hot pink reddish air plants, really pretty. So the anhinga's drying its wings, because anhingas, they don't have that natural oil like birds have to keep their feathers dry. So when they get wet, they've got to kind of lay out in the sun and dry their wings. So they'll stretch their wings out like that in order to dry. So yeah, this guy was just preening, and the females have like a lighter brownish color with the black, so you can tell the difference. Yeah, and of course there was like some great egrets and stuff like that, great white egrets. This guy was in there kind of hunting in the swamp area and doing what they do. So so yeah, I hadn't still seen any woodpeckers at this point. So we went ahead and we turned around, we went back down to the end of the trail on the boardwalk, and we got in the car, and my husband was like, you want to go back to Monument Lake one more time? I was like, all right, we'll just go back. So here's at Monument Lake. We go back, and I'm like, let me go ahead and see if I can find some darn woodpeckers here. So I end up finding a Carolina wren in the brush here. I think I have a closer... There we go. You can see an up-close photo of that. I got a Carolina wren and some nice butterflies, a Gulf fritillary here, and then one cool find that I don't have on my list that I did end up seeing was a swamp sparrow. So initially I just heard it, and I had my Merlin app open, and Merlin identified it as a swamp sparrow, but I was like, okay, is this really what this is? So I messaged someone in the Collier County bird chat, and sure enough, they said yes. In that same exact area that you're standing right now, we have 3 swamp sparrows. So I start walking around, and sure enough, one flies right in front of me. So I was able to confirm that I did have a swamp sparrow. This here is not a swamp sparrow. This is a breeding plumage palm warbler. I couldn't get a picture of it because he flew into the bushes and then he wouldn't come out, but I was able to identify it at least. So that was cool. I did not have a sighting yet of a swamp sparrow ever. I've had clay colored sparrows. I've had white crowned sparrow? Yeah, I got one of those. I've seen a few rare sparrows, but this was good to add to my list. So I did put that one in eBird. So that was pretty cool. And then I kind of went around the lake in the back of the forest. He said to go away from the campground. I think this is just some starlings here, but there were some purple martins and some starlings just kind of hanging around, flying in the grass. Another nice dragonfly here. But yeah, I decided to kind of walk around. He told me to go around the lake. Okay, here's a red-winged blackbird, and then that was one of those nice butterflies that I saw. So I'm walking around the lake, and I'm kind of looking to see if I can find some woodpeckers. He told me to go to the back left corner where the campers were not. So I'm just kind of walking around seeing what I could find. So I got this nice video of a red-winged blackbird, I guess eating some seeds out of here, I'm guessing. So that was cool. I like this little plant. I don't know what it's called, but a bunch of palm warblers just kind of popping on the ground and stuff like that as I'm walking around the lake. And I did end up seeing a couple more cool things, but let's see, what do we have next? And okay, yeah, this is when I saw some catbirds, I believe, going into the palms there. I think I got a picture of one. Oh no, that was the more common yellow throats. There was some nice dragonflies here on the reeds. Really pretty. This is a Halloween pennant dragonfly. We have those down by us, so those are really nice. Okay, here's when I saw the catbird. I thought it was a woodpecker. I was like, yay, but it was a catbird. And then boom, I did get one downy woodpecker. So, and then a kingfisher as well. There was a kingfisher at this place. He flew by me rather quickly, so he was like going, gone, boom, behind the trees. And this was a dead gator. It wasn't a fun thing to see, but I don't know what happened to him. And then the very last thing that I saw leaving the park, as we stopped one more time at the visitor center, was this beautiful roseate spoonbill flyby. So that was pretty exciting. I had stopped to use the bathroom, and then boom, roseate spoonbill. And then of course we had some ospreys on the way out as well. So it was definitely a great trip. I would recommend to go to Big Cypress. Of course, what you're going to see is going to depend on the time of year that you go. I definitely want to go back a little bit deeper into spring migration. And I'd also like to see if I go maybe earlier in the day. Maybe go like to Naples and stay the night or something like that, and then hit up like all the trails early in the morning or something. So that's kind of what I would like to go do when I go back. Hit up the loop road, like I said. Hit up another area called Picayune Strand, because I was told that's another good spot for woodpeckers. So I hope you guys enjoyed my trip to Big Cypress, and I will keep you updated on my next adventure.